Hello and welcome to ESAT. I am Ngudu Walde with the news. 12 people were killed in the past 3 days of renewed ethnic conflict in Moyale, southern Ethiopia, as 17 others were wounded. Legal and human rights advisor to the president of the Somali region, Jamal Driye, said the new round of clashes between the Somali and armed Oromo groups is feared to turn the southern Ethiopia into a volatile and crisis region. He said the recent clashes were sparked by deadly actions taken by the Oromo armed groups. Driye said the Somali and Oromo regional governments should seek immediate solution before the crisis go out of hand. 2 main highways have been shut down as a result of the conflict, which hampered the delivery of humanitarian aid to areas bordering the Somali and Oromo region. ESAT attempted to obtain further and detailed information on the crisis from the Oromo regional government, but only received a brief response from the deputy head of security, Colonel Abeba Garesu, who said the conflict was not new and the two regions would seek solutions. Last year, clashes between the two communities left hundreds dead and over 1 million people displaced, resulting in a humanitarian crisis in the region. The United Nations Security Council has today lifted a 9-year-old sanction on Eritrea in a unanimous vote. The arms embargo and other targeted sanctions on Eritrea was imposed in 2009, accusing the East African country of aiding a Somali jihadist group, Al-Shabaab. The sanctions involves an arms embargo, travel bans on its leaders, and freezing assets of some of its officials. The Eritrean government welcomed the decision but called it belated and the imposition unwarranted. The statement from the Ministry of Information of Eritrea said today that the government of Eritrea welcomes this belated decision to redress injustice almost a decade after nefarious acts were taken inculcating indefensible harm on the country. The sanctions on Eritrea continued despite, in more than one occasion, a United Nations monitoring group stated in reports that it had found no evidence of direct Eritrean support for Al-Shabaab. Eritrea accuses the United Nations of being the main force pushing for continuation of the embargo, despite the findings of the monitoring group. The U.S. has lately backed down from its position, and its National Security Advisor, John Bolton, supported a proposal by the United Kingdom for lifting of the sanctions. The lifting of the sanctions followed recent positive developments in the Horn of Africa. Eritrea has thawed relations with its neighbors, especially with Ethiopia, that ended 2 decades of animosity. The office of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, in a statement congratulated the people and government of the state of Eritrea on the lifting of sanctions. The office said the lifting of the sanctions is a significant step towards deepening the economic, social, and cultural ties the sisterly nations of Ethiopia and Eritrea enjoy. Detente among the regional neighboring countries has been viewed positively by Europe and the United States, leading to the lifting of sanctions. At the UN General Assembly in September, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Djibouti called for an end to sanctions on Eritrea. The UN Security Council resolution, however, extended the arms embargo on Somalia and Somali charcoal trade. A United Nations technical team is in Ethiopia discussing election laws and technicalities with leaders of political parties and community representatives. That's according to ESA sources. The United Nations Development Program, UNDP, has been funding Ethiopia's past elections against international uproar that the elections were rigged by the TPLF regime. In the 2015 elections, the TPLF regime became something of an international laughingstock when it declared that it had won 100% of votes and controlled all seats in the parliament. The UNDP has also come under criticism for continuing to fund mock elections in Ethiopia. It was not clear if ongoing discussions among stakeholders would result in pushing the dates of the elections, slated to be held in May 2020. A reformist prime minister who took office in April has introduced sweeping reforms and has begun crackdown on corruption and excessive abuse of power. He promised a level playing field for all competing parties and hold a free and fair elections. That ends the news. Thanks for watching.